Alrighty, welcome back. We got the car inside the building, and I'm happy to have it here with very little to any damage on it. We did touch the front chrome on the front. It is what it is, but we got it done. When we got the car back and we backed the trailer in here, we had an extra set of ramps over there on the truck that Jolene's on. Use those ramps to lengthen the ramps on the back of the trailer. And then I took the jack stand and put it on the tongue of the truck and jacked the tongue of the truck up and got that trailer aimed nice and right. We had a ramp right straight down. A friend of mine, John, showed up and he helped us push it off, and it went well. It's hard to believe that we were able to get this bad boy, this Bohema, up on the trailer and got it here. I just measured it with my feet when I was down the other building. I was just did it with my feet thinking, oh, it might work, so that's what happened. But we're going to talk a little bit about this car, and every car that we bring up, and we'll talk about it, and we'll go over it and tell you what's going on. This car started out as a A100 Austin, I think it is. The names don't impress me much. It's the shape. I really like the shape of the A100 car with this here. This was not here. This is a fender skirt that does not come off, but this is the shape of the body of the car here. And what happened on this car here is it was quite a rough car. Really never had much other than the fender shape, the hood shape, the headlights. It did have a back on it, but I cut it off. So this is the front of the car. So if you want to take this off, this is the front of the car with the hood here, which is welded shut. This is the door area. Did not like the door coming way up like that, so that's when we cut her down like this. And on the back of the car, we obviously went with this. And this was made from scratch. Basically, the running boards were made from scratch. It's kind of like something that we just kind of went with. This car was built for Lightfoot and Wolfville, or Wolfville and Lightfoot, whatever. Which one comes first? Lightfoot and Wolfville. It's a winery that's in Wolfville. If you ever get a chance to come to Wolfville, I suggest you go there. It's a beautiful winery. Beautiful. I've known Mike that owns the place for quite a long time. The back of the car was cut off at the back of the door, and then we started running square stock down like this. So we got this shape in the back first, from the top of the door where the door shut. Square stock was run from there all the way around back to here. And you can guess how I bent that. Barrel. I don't know if I'd want to bang it on this cement floor, but that's what I did. So we got another piece running up this side, up to here. We have a piece running, I'm guessing, because it's been a while, we got a piece running down from the middle. We obviously have a piece running across all the way down. And then we ran a piece from the bottom all the way along to come along through here, all the way through, and it runs to here. So we've got two pieces that come down around, one piece down the center, one square stock down the bottom all the way along, sheets of metal all the way along the top, sheet of metal across the back, all the way along the back. It's even covered underneath here, I think. And then there's a sheet all the way along the side, from the square stock on the bottom all the way through. Once we got the stinger made, I guess I'm just calling it a stinger because it comes to a point. Once we got the stinger made, that became the time when the fenders went on. On this car, the engine is in the back. So there's nothing in the front other than good looks, like Jolene, good looks. She's a good looking lady. We have a 360 in the back of here. It's out of a Mini Winnie. The Mini Winnie is over there cut apart, and I want to make something out of it. I still have it. It's over there. But the 360 is in here. It's a Dodge engine with an automatic transmission. The exhaust actually works. That's where the exhaust is. When the fenders come back, or when this come back here, I mounted the fender on the front. I think I maybe welded some square stock. Yeah, there's square stock right here. I'm guessing because it's been a while. 3 years, 4 years? 4 years. So a piece of square stock down here, so we had something nice to weld to. So we'll weld a piece of square stock over here to lay the fender on. I'm thinking that we did somewhat the same in the back of here, coming from here to there, because we got good metal to weld to there. The fender was obviously set on. This fender come off of that truck. There's a dump truck right there. You can see that the front fender's got the exact same body style. I just looked at it. When we were taking these cars apart and building things out of them, there were pieces that I do not throw away. I use everything, or try to, but these fenders come off of that truck. They were laying in the junkyard. So what we have is a car fender. So we're talking about yay wide, a car fender. You know how it bolts up underneath generally in the back. I just did the truck fender on that one. We had to add, I think, 5.5 inches, 6 inches to the fender on that one. So when I put the fender on this square stock here, put the fender on this piece of metal down here, then it was just a matter of adding this fender to that fender, because it did the exact same thing on both sides. So it was a paper pattern that I had to make. It was a big paper pattern, but I made a piece of metal and rolled it and welded welded all the way along here, welded all the way along there, cut the shape of the stinger out of that piece of metal, cut the shape of the stinger out in that piece of, on the metal there on the back side, and then laid it down on. So then it finished it off really nice, come down the back, which covered it all in. So this piece here continues right underneath of this. The fender is an afterthought. And that's what it looks like also, I'm thinking. Pretty sure we're talking Pontiac taillights. We just took them out of a 48 Pontiac. That's the taillight I'm thinking that was in it, but we got a blue dot. The fender skirts up front. The fender skirts up front are square stock. Barrel, barrel, barrel. Banged it on the floor, made the shape that we wanted. And also, the fender skirts, the fender skirts were made for the reason because I could not, well, it had to be built out like this because I could not turn the wheel as far as I wanted to turn and keep the fender skirts on full time if I did not build it out. So the fender skirt is actually out far enough that the wheel can be turned and it does not hit. They're not removable. They're just welded onto the car, and that's where they are. I think the price that we paid for this car was, $300 is in my brain, $350. It wasn't much more than that. On the front of the car, it had a grille, and also we got the car cheap because there was nothing to it. Like the headlights were missing, the grille was missing. It basically just had the fender shape, the hood front end, and a little bit of shape to it is basically what it had. It didn't have much of a floor in it, didn't have much of anything, so I had to fabricate a lot. The headlights, we did not have any good chrome for them, any good headlights. So what happened there is I bought a set of headlights from, I think, Speedway. When you buy the headlights, I think you're looking at $120 for the headlight. And what I did is I cut the headlight in half and mounted the headlight on, which gave me a brand new headlight door. And it was well worth that, because if you tried to take anything or find anything to fit these cars, I was going to be in for a big search. So that's what I did. So they're extended a little bit, they're brought out a little bit further. And as you can tell, all the chrome on the car, you guessed, it's bad Chad flexible chrome. All the cars that we did for TV was a budget. There was a budget, so we had to stay within. But also, I wanted to build a beautiful car for the winery. When everybody came in to look at the car, that was real. Everybody that came in was like, wow, that's quite a car, and which it is, in my opinion. We were building it for the winery to celebrate their wine, Prestige Cuvée. I'm not a wine carnivorous, but it was their wine that they made. It's a special wine they've made. They wanted to celebrate it, and they wanted a piece of art. So this is a piece of art. I would call it an art car. They wanted to display it and everybody to try their wine that they're very proud of, and they wanted something on the floor impressed. They didn't want something that everybody else had. That's my specialty, is making things that something nobody has. And I went for it. The exhaust, I don't know if I said that, the exhaust is running out here. The engine's in the back. It'd be very hard to, I don't know if I said that, the exhaust is running out here. The engine's in the back. It'd be very hard to, I don't know if I said that, the exhaust is running out here. The engine's in the back. It'd be very hard to, I don't know if I said that, the exhaust is running out here. The engine's in the back. It'd be very hard to I'm going to say, to maintenance something like this, you're not going to be driving it all over the place. You're driving it on the road, I wouldn't think. It's an art car. It's made to be moved and trailered and shown and that sort of stuff. But to maintenance this car, you would have to put it on a hoist. It's open from underneath here, so you can go up underneath there and get in there and maintenance. The chassis is, the engine's in there. There's a little bit of space to go in there to maintenance, change the oil and all that stuff. You'd have to take it up in the air. The suspension in the back is chrome coilovers with ladder bars. The front suspension is the front suspension in the car that was originally with it. The chassis is all brand new from front to back. Well, that far back. We end up clipping the front from the original Austin itself. Yeah, it's a piece of art is what I'm saying it is. It's an art car. The windows are from, I think, Moss Motors. If you're building a roadster, like we have done a car with the Duval windshield. Big money. Big money if you're putting a Duval windshield on. I think the Duval windshield in the end, we did one car come up to about $7,000 or more than that. 10. Whew, like $10,000 is a lot of money. Something like this, I think you could probably buy, I think for $150 a piece or cheaper. Yeah, like so if you're building a roadster, great idea for a roadster instead of spending that big money on a Duval windshield, two nice little windows like that. When I look at the car, if you want to come back here, when I look at the car from front on, it looks to me like Minnie Mouse with a set of glasses. Or Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse for a set of glasses. The bumper is something that I add. I made all this in the front. It did not have that. Bad Chad flexible chrome. Let's come up here at the front here. Come on the front. There's the amount of damage that we caused yesterday. I'm all right with it. And if I'm not, you know what to do. Get your heat gun out, put a little heat on it, pull that piece of chrome off, and replace it. The grill was exactly there at that time, but I've changed it because the radiator is in the back of the car. When the car drives, it's open underneath, so all the air can come up underneath here. There's no fear of overheating it really. All the air comes up from underneath. Bad Chad flexible chrome along the fender skirts. And the fender skirts is what I happen to do with the fender skirts is the fender skirts were made from trailer fenders from Princess Auto. So the trailer fender give me this shape and that shape, the nice round shape. And then it was put on here with metal itself, which was welded on. Square stock on the bottom to make that shape. So I got a trailer fender cut here. This piece here, I cut the trailer fender in half, or 4 inches of it. I used the flat shape and the round shape, scribed it to the car, welded all the way to the car. Piece of square stock, welded to the fender down here to make that shape, and then a flat piece of metal. The inside of it, like I said, it's a 360 automatic, and there also was a budget on this. Floyd Hiltz, that is doing Jolene's interior, put this interior together for us really quick. He didn't have the car to do it. He just went home and made it. Just kind of made it for us, and it worked. Good enough for us. It was actually fabulous. And you can see inside the interior, there's 2 wine bottles there, champagne bottles. We had those for Christmas. Thanks, Jack. We appreciate it. We drank those champagne bottles. We made mimosas. I can talk, but I don't know my shit. The wine glasses are just glasses to show you how it went. They don't fit in there. Jolene usually fills them up with ice, and she has her wine or whatever she drinks at nighttime and that stuff. We're not telling you what she drinks, but that's what she used. Them are her glasses that she used at nighttime. She fills them up with ice and does whatever. She's hooked on the water is what she's hooked on, that sparkling water. That's what she's hooked on. What else can I tell you about the car? It is a art car. I would say it's an art car. It's got an I Did It steering column in it. It is an automatic. Yeah, and we just got it back, and we're just trying to clean it up a little bit. I just kind of swiped it off and cleaned it up a little bit. You know how many days it was supposed to make this car. That's what the show was all about. In the other building, we had some, I'm not sure if we had some condensation or whatever going on a little bit, but these hubcaps that you buy, they're a nice looking hubcap, but they're cheap. You know what I mean? The chrome or the chrome on them or whatever's on them that's covering them is cheap, and it generally goes bad on you. But this is what I will say. That chrome didn't go bad. The bad shade flexible chrome didn't go bad, right? And you know, for those who say that they don't like that stuff, there's more bad shade flexible chrome on the dash pad. You can see the chrome going across front below the windows, or yeah, below the windows. I used it there. Let's talk about that. The bad shade flexible chrome, 1/4 inch all the way along there to give me that body separation. 1/4 inch to do the molding on the fender skirt to make it look like it's really, really cool. We used the black bad shade flexible chrome with the black in the middle because it made it look like a rack that you could put something there, but you probably would not. We've got a flushed off gas cap over here. If I remember right. Push that down and then you turn it and then you put your gas in. Don't mess with things, Chad. Bad shade flexible chrome on the side, up the running boards. Bad shade flexible chrome up here. We got bad shade flexible chrome up on the bumper. We made a grill out of it because there's no grilling anymore. The radiator's in the back, up through the middle. I'm not scared to use that stuff, as you can tell. I'm going to clean this hubcap off. We're trying to clean them up as we bring them up. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to use WD-40 and a sponge. Now we will probably just buy a new set of these. That ain't working so good. I think it's wasting my time. Yeah, probably just a SOS pad would be better, but I like using WD-40. This is what I'm going to tell you. If I would have put WD-40 on that hubcap before I let it set for 4 years and let it get moisture on it and that sort of stuff, it would not have a sprinkle of rust on it. Wouldn't it? Not affected it one bit. Where I have not put anything on it, you see what you get. But if I would have put WD-40 on it, I would have got nothing. No doubt in my mind. I'm going to grab something. Jolene bring me up some tin foil. Sometimes I'll grab tin foil, and if you have a piece of rusty chrome, sometimes if you ball up a ball of tin foil, when you go over it, the rusty nibs of the chrome that's left will actually tear off some of your tin foil, and it'll make that shine come back. I'm going to call that hubcap a waste of my time, and the reason being is I'm not going to be happy with it when I'm done doing it anyway. So to waste my time cleaning it, not going to do it. I'm going to wipe it off and ask Jolene for new hubcaps for Christmas. That's what I'm going to do. The walls, or the white walls, can be done with, I will do that though, some spray 9 for the white walls. Mike's wife's name's Jocelyn, is it not? I can remember that when we did the car for the winery, Jocelyn said she did not like white walls, but when she came out and looked at the car, she said, wow, that looks nice, and we had white walls on it. So I was quite happy with that. There was a little bit of pressure to build something in a short amount of time to make everybody happy, but it happened. We did a good job, I think. should leave it set for a little bit longer, but I'm impatient sometimes. Jolene has video of me driving this car up the road, because I'm bad Chad. I probably shouldn't have, but I did. And I don't know sure if she can add it on the video or not. But we're going to end up buying a new set of hubcaps. Ugh. Shouldn't even touch that, should I? Anyways. I'll wash this car down. I like the Firestone. These are the Firestone Deluxe Champion tire, gum dipped. I like the writing on the white walls of the Firestone. We got the exact same wheel up the front. Now when I wash this car off, or wash it down, I'll wash it all off with Windex. I find it does a better job. It doesn't leave water spots, and it cleans it nice, I find. It dissipates. I seen a guy on the internet giving his car what I don't know what it was called, a quick shine, and he was using WD-40. Cool. Just it collects so much dirt. I find WD-40 does after a while. But if I was going to wash this car down, I'd wash it all down with Windex. And if I haven't told you already, I'm not much of a cleaner guy. Like, but that's what needs to be done to it. I wish Aiden was still here, because he's a guy that is meticulous on the cleaning part, I'm thinking. Guess what I get him to do? Just guess. So this is the art car that we did, and I'm calling it an art car because I'm dare saying that you would not drive it on the road. But I'm going to put on the other hand, you could, if you wanted to, you could. There's probably a few more things that you would want to do to it. You probably wouldn't want to have liquor hanging out of the dash and having, glass bottles, ready available. You might want some gauges and that sort of stuff. But it was the last episode for Bad Chad Customs, and again, one more time, I was proud of what was accomplished in a short amount of time to get it done. It's an Austin A100, and that's what it looks like. I guess the motivation from this car came from what we had, what we were going for an art car, and there was a burgundy car, I think, that just burnt in a California fire, and the back flipped up, and it was made out of aluminum, I think. They probably took more than 35 days to build theirs, but I think that's where the inspiration came from. Not sure what the car's called. I think it's gone now. I think it got burnt in the California fire, I think. But the car was totaled one time before that. It got destroyed, and then it got restored, and then it might even get restored again. I'm not sure. But I think the inspiration come from that. I just went a little bit different, which that's what we all are, is different. And I used what I had. And what I had is a pair of back fenders off a truck. And I had an Austin A100 body that I got cheap enough that it applied to the budget. And I had a lot of will and want and a little bit of imagination and the will to get it done. And I guess that's why they call me Bad Chad, because we built some badass cars. And I feel that anybody could build something like this. Anybody can build something like this. Yeah, anybody could build something like this. It does not you do not have to run it up and down the road. It does not have to be the quickest car. It does not have to be the fastest car. It does not have to be the best looking car. But I can guarantee you one thing. when you come over and look at it, you're gonna say, what the hell is that? Who built that? Jolie's gonna show me the car right now. That's the car, sort of got the, okay, I am right. California Windfire claims vintage car collection, including one of one. So we've got a one of one right here. I don't think like I said, we didn't take the time that they took to build theirs. I would say their car is more of an art car. You know, it's an art car. This is an art car. And the reason I say that, because some will like it, some will hate it, and some will wonder why, and some will say, oh yeah. But there it is. It's mine and Jolene's car. It's in our collection. It's not going anywheres. And if you ever get a chance to see it, it's just a little different. It's just a piece of my imagination. And like I said, anybody can do it. Like you can do it just as well as I can. You do not, to get into this hobby, you do not have to have the biggest motor, the best interior, all the chrome, whatever. You need a welder, a grinder, a hammer, some wheel, some want, some metal, some body fill, some primer, some paint, and you can do it just as well as anybody else. As you look at this car, you have to ask, where would the big money be spent? Like I just explained where all the chrome come from. I explained the windows on it, the interior. Derek Wood did the wood on it. I had to appreciate that. He did the wood on it. They're a nice looking hubcap when they're shiny, but they're a cheaper hubcap. But like I said, if you're interested in this game and you want to make a name for yourself, like I was going for in the day and now or whatever, if you want to make a name for you got to build something that someone's never seen before, right? To me, to build a chopped Oldsmobile, which I love, like I love them just as much as anything, a chopped Oldsmobile or a chopped whatever. But to build something like this and to pull it into a car show, you'll find out what a piece of art is when you do that, when you pull something like that into a car show, because there'll be people coming over. What is that? Oh, I love it. And then there's both sides. Does not matter. But it will be a piece that everybody will come together and talk about after the car show and while the car show is going on. Did you see that piece of whatever? But anyways, I hope you enjoy it. If you don't, that's okay. That's okay. Not everybody's taste is the same. If everybody was the same, what a boring world it would be. And the old motto, like I say, those who beat to their own drum shape the world. And I'm going to shape the world. Have a good day, everybody.